How far your money can go living in a place like Chiang Mai. What's up, y'all? I was making a budget for myself for the next few months, and I had recently come across an old notebook that had some of my old budgets from when I first moved to Chiang Mai as a young single person. I thought it'd be interesting to make a video just comparing what my expenses looked like back then versus what they look like now with my small family. And sort of how far your money can go living in a place like Chiang Mai. Let's get it. So, back in the early days of my life in Chiang Mai, life was a lot more simple, right? I showed up with a backpack, I planned to get my TEFL and start teaching, and a little bit of savings, but I was on a pretty tight budget, and one of the reasons that I decided to move here was it's really low cost of living, hopefully have a lot of extra free time and not have to work too much, be able to put my time into new things. So I found a nice apartment, well, a decent studio that was about 5,000 baht a month. So that was my cost of rent. Bills back then, my water was set on 100 baht a month, and my electricity usually was under 1,000, but we'll just call it a nice even 1,000, depending on how much aircon I used, right? I rented a motorbike back then for pretty cheap. I got a nice price, 2,000 baht per month for a nice old Honda Click. Gas was maybe 100, 150 a week, so we'll call that 400 or 500 a month. Groceries, I cooked a little bit, but mostly just some snacks and things like that, nothing too crazy. We'll say I spent about 2,000 baht a month on groceries back then. That's what the budget I had was written out as. Eating out, much more common. I would eat a lot of street food, but I would also go out to Western restaurants occasionally. I was spending probably about 500 baht a day on average. So what was written in my budget was about 12,000 baht per month spent eating out. Now, back then I was a single guy, go out, hang out with my friends, things like that. So I would spend a bit more money on going out, having beers, things of that sort. Usually I would try to limit it to about 1,000 baht per weekend, like one big night out, spend 1,000 baht. So we'll call that 4,000 per month. Then I would go to the gym. Mostly back then I was going to a place called Go Gym. It was just 60 baht per day, pretty affordable. I would go at least 4 or 5 days a week, plus maybe a little bit of other activities here and there. I was maybe trying my first Muay Thai sessions occasionally, things like that. They were a little more expensive. So it was about 1,200 baht a month on the gym. So if you add it all up, it was a pretty affordable cost of living, 700 to 900 a month to eat out often and live pretty comfortably. It was a good time. All right, so expenses with a family. Our rent's currently a little bit nicer area of town, a little bit bigger space, not quite a studio, a nice 1-bedroom, 2-bathroom, a 2-floor apartment is costing 10,500 baht per month. Now for bills, somehow the cost of electricity has gone crazy recently. It used to be under 1,000 baht a month, but now it's usually over 3,000, which is insane. Water is usually 300 to 400 as well, so we'll just round that up to 4,000 baht per month in bills. These days I can't just get around on the motorbike as I have the little ones to take around, so we have to buy a car. Luckily I was able to save up, buy my motorbike, buy my car. I don't have to pay monthly bills on those, but I do have to pay gas for a car, which is quite more expensive, about 2,000 baht every time I fill up. I try to keep that to every other week, so about 4,000 baht a month, give or take, for gasoline. Now, groceries. My lovely wife does a lot of cooking, lots of delicious food at home. I'm lucky to have this, but we do spend a lot more money on our groceries. So generally shopping at Rimping, which is a little bit more expensive, but they have good foods, good quality, organic vegetables. Trying to go to some markets here and there, but we spend about 12,000 baht per month on groceries. Now, eating out. We of course try to limit our eating out as we cook a lot of food at home, but we still go out and eat pretty often, and we do like to treat ourselves to a little bit more high quality food while we're out. So we put that at about 12,000 baht per month as well. Figure every week we go out for one nicer meal that's going to be 1,000 or more, a couple of sort of mid-range meals, 500-600, and then a few cheaper, more local meals that are usually running $200-300 a piece. So not too bad. Now, going out doesn't really happen that much anymore. I don't spend pretty much any money going out and drinking, but you know, occasionally I might step out and have a couple beers with someone, or maybe just have one at home at the end of a long day. So we'll call that just 2,000 baht a month. Now, training. I still like to go to the gym, but most of my training these days is Muay Thai focused. So going to training costs 300 baht per session at the Bear Fight Club, my gym that I train at. So I try to go at least 3 times a week. Add that in with a few other gym sessions that are 50 to 100 baht per session. We'll call it about 4,000 baht a month. Then of course we have to have insurance for the young one. So we'll put that. Insurance is unfortunately 5,000 baht per month. A little bit expensive when they're young, but hopefully it gets cheaper as they get older. So if you add that all up and throw in a few unexpected expenses here and there, which do happen when you have a baby, it's anywhere from 50 to 60,000 baht per month with a small family living in Chiang Mai. Now, that is a little bit expensive, some would say. There are definitely people that live on a much tighter budget in Chiang Mai, even small families that live on 30-40,000 a month, even less, right? So you definitely can make it work for less money. We live a pretty comfortable life. We have a decent apartment. We go out to eat a fair bit. We buy good ingredients to eat at home. So, you know, we're not too tight with our spending. We live comfortably, but still, if you compare this cost of living to living in the US, it's a pretty nice cost, and it allows us a pretty good quality of life. So that's just a little peek at what expenses could look like here in Chiang Mai. I might do some more videos on some of the possibilities of how cheap you could live, because I have met some people who live extremely cheap here, and it is definitely possible if you want to live on a super tight budget. And you know, some people spend a lot more and live a much more comfortable life, have really nice apartments, go out to eat nice restaurants every day, go out and party, everything else, travel a lot. So you could definitely spend more, but generally the cost of living is pretty low and you can afford a pretty nice life here in Chiang Mai. So that's what our cost of living looks like. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Comment if you live in Chiang Mai or somewhere else that you think has a good cost of living, and make some comparisons. I would love to hear how people find their budget and how it might differ from mine. So thanks for watching. See y'all next time.